Ladies and gentlemen, we are into Assassin's Creed Unity. So, with this, we're going to be taking a look at the game and giving my thoughts and opinions on it so far. I've been made an assassin about 20-ish minutes ago. I've completed a couple of other missions. So we're going to be just kind of playing a little bit, besting around some, giving my thoughts and opinions on the graphics, the performance of the consoles. I'm playing the PlayStation 4 version, and probably not playing too seriously. I'm going to be derping around a little bit because I want to be showing you kind of like how the AI reacts to stuff for the most part. And we'll get into why, but let's just say that AI has some problems. So I'm just going to start carving things up, slicing them, probably when I should really not be doing that. Alright. We have a hell of a lot of guys around, apparently. Alright, let's smoke bomb them and slice them anyway, because fuck them, right, frankly. Yes. Now, you can immediately, most likely, notice that frame rate is a bit of a problem on the game. Now, you'll notice that the title is being uploaded at 30 frames a second on YouTube, and I'll tell you why, because, well, the game's hard-locked at, well, 30. So it's pointless. It basically wouldn't benefit us to put it at 60, because you're just going to be seeing more repeated frames. Speaking of repeated frames and crappy frame rate, the game does tank. And when we're talking tank, we're not talking, oh no, it goes to 27 frames. It goes, no, that would be quite nice. It actually goes considerably lower than that. Okay, this guy is just writhing, and quite frankly, he's upsetting me. There we are. At points, I would say, and this is eyeballing it, I certainly will be doing an analysis, frame rate testing, but I would say it's going low 20s at points, possibly even lower than that. Okay, that's actually someone from RGT, so send him messages and stalk him. Go for it. Anyway, so the frame rate is definitely a problem. Now, why is it a problem? What's causing it? Well, we'll see that in just a moment. But I can summarize it by saying the crowds. The absolutely huge-ass crowds. So we're actually in quite a nice spot, as it turns out, to show you, well, the city. It's quite a nice location. Probably get a bit higher than this, but I think it's quite a nice area. And you can see that... Get up the sodding. There we go. You can see that, for the most part, it looks quite beautiful. It really does. I personally believe that I'm going to give like a panoramic view quite slowly just to let you see it. And you can see that it does look quite nice. You know, the art team have definitely put a lot of work into this. I am not going to criticize them. They honestly have put a hell of a lot of work in. But, and you knew there was going to be a but, it's mired by the fact that there are technical problems galore, including, but not limited to, pop-in, including, but not limited to, issues with models and textures just kind of doing their thing randomly. This is probably going to hurt like a bitch. Ow! Okay, I did not mean to jump. That was a bit silly. We have a crowd. So, these guys have been becoming increasingly agitated. If you've seen trailers, you could probably guess where this is leading, but I won't say anything. We'll look at the sync points in a second as well. I wanted to deliberately save those so we can go through that together. So, the crowds are huge. Now, you might think to yourself, well, this is just, like, one crowd in, let's say, the game, and that's it. Unfortunately, no. This is... crowds like this are pretty much prolific through the title, and maybe not quite this big, but certainly when you're walking through streets, and we will see this in a minute, they're huge. Now, the problem with that, I want to show you something that I noticed earlier as well. Let's slowly sweep the camera, and you can actually, no, let's get more to the edge here, so it's actually more pronounced. You can start seeing the, well, there's some problems there. You notice those problems with the shadows in particular, as well as a little bit of pop-up. Yeah. Yeah. So the problem with the game is that it looks really beautiful, but then you get pop-up like that. And as it turns out, it really affects the frame rate. And worse, although the shadows is one thing I did show you, it actually happens to a lot of stuff. You can actually get characters pop up, literally just in the middle of the street, characters will pop up. Oh, and by the way, the frame rate that you're seeing drop there isn't the problem with my recording. No, 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 no. That is actually part of the game, and even quite early on, literally the first couple of missions, you'll notice some frame rate drops. I know I'm deliberately missing where we're going, but I'm trying to show you a little bit of the, you know, the city itself, just to give you an idea. So the smoke and stuff looks quite nice. Lighting looks really good as well. Characters can, for the most part, look good, but the low resolution textures are a problem. Performance on both the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 is not where it should be. However, because internally the Xbox One is rendering at a lower resolution, this is somewhat offsetting the, well, poorer GPU power of the Xbox One. Thus, the Xbox One at times, from what I'm finding out in my initial first... Well, I've barely played the Xbox One version, but I played the PS4 version quite a bit today. But my initial, and from what others have said as well, who own both platforms, for whatever reason, it turns out that the Xbox One version does perform slightly better, but it's, of course, running at a slightly... well, a basically worse resolution. If this sounds familiar, it's pretty much identical to the Call of Duty situation, which I've kind of done an analysis for you guys on anyway. So, the problem, however, also extends to PC. The PC version is pretty bad. In fact, I would actually say it's inferior even at the consoles, because although it looks a lot better if you're able to run it at the higher settings, but because of the absolutely ridiculously crappy, terrible optimization. In fact, optimization, I don't even think it's had optimization. I mean, the console versions have barely been optimized. I would say that the console version borderline unplayable at times. The PC version, unless you've got a rig that has been created by the gods of PC, in other words, you're going to need something like an SLI type of high-end setup, just forget it. On anything but the kind of medium-ish settings, 720p, and I am not kidding. It's pretty bad. I'm actually going to go to street level so we can see some of the crowds and just how they interact with things. It's kind of nice as well. Yes. Now, we can actually clip through things as well, which is a bit weird. And the clipping can actually become a little, well, a little bit frustrating, to say the least. And at times, we can actually, I mean, it's certainly at angles, your character, I mean, you can already kind of see that. What? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Pretty much. I'm not quite sure, but I don't think in Revolutionary Paris, I mean, feel free to correct me on this, but I don't think they had holographic technology. Might be wrong. Might be. Don't think I am. Anyway, as I was saying, so you could get massive clipping issues, and it does sometimes piss me off immensely. I won't lie. I got pretty angry with some fights. You see actually some pop-up there as well with the characters. Let's try and repeat that. Okay, it's not doing it now. If you rewind a smidgen, you'll see it. But it happens quite prolifically. Oh. Oh, really? Shut up. Ow, ow, ow. The combat, oh my god. Now, because the frame rate dips so badly, and no, I am not doing anything to the video here. I'm just trying to point that out. It's really, really frustrating to counter. I'm talking rage-inducing sometimes to counter, because you press a button, but because the frame rate's all over the shop, at least for me, who's really used to precision when it comes to these type of games, for example, Batman, sometimes, like, basically to counter, you'll see, like, a yellow bar to go up, and you've got to press the circle button, and it'll be like, doink, and it'll basically ask you to counter. Oh, go away. No one cares about you. Let's just slice you up, and it'll be... Okay, you saw that yellow bar? Well, ideally speaking... Yeah. Ideally speaking, you're supposed to press the circle button when the yellow bar pops up. Unfortunately, because the frame rate continues to go up and down like mad, it makes it really difficult to time. Because if you're in an area that's not too crowded, it's very consistent. If you're not, then it can be a bit more difficult. Maybe it's just me that has that problem, but I'm really struggling. And I'm really good at countering with Batman and even other Assassin's Creeds. To be fair, I was pretty reasonable at.
Still lives. He killed Monsieur de la Serre.
Patience. Severe's not the target. Not today. Come on. Council's waiting for our report.
Alright, we're back here, are we? Okay, let's run for it. Let's escape. Rather rapidly, might I add. Rapidly! We must escape. Sort of. Come on, you can do it. So, the basic gameplay mechanics are pretty much what you'd expect from an Assassin's Creed, to be totally honest. It basically, if you've played one Assassin's Creed, you'll probably be pretty familiar with how most of this works at this point. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It can be kind of cool if you're interested in the game. I mean, personally, I'm not quite sure why he jumped, considering I pressed circle, but whatever. While I think that Assassin's Creed Black Flag was better in some aspects, primarily because of the fact that, well, you've got the option to kind of do some piracy, but that's just kind of how it is. Anyway, let's follow this guy and see what happens. Uh-oh. Alright, now he's actually running. Okay, that's good. Alright, we can see the frame rate becoming a bit odd there. Oh god, look at the frame rate. It's really annoying as well, he's not fast enough. There we go, we've got it now.
Merde. Patriots. These imbeciles will pick a fight with anyone. Try not to draw their attention.
Shouldn't we stop them?
Stop them. Avoid them. Doesn't matter. There's always more fanatics.
Right, I'm going to skip this because frankly I don't want to give away too much stuff for you guys. Members of the opposing factions. Yes. So, I don't know how I feel about the title so far. I find it extremely difficult to recommend to one if you are, quite frankly speaking, wanting to play it and really enjoy it. You're going to have problems with the performance, and you're going to have problems with glitches, and you're going to have problems with the fighting, at least I am. Maybe you won't. Maybe you won't. Maybe you'll be fine with the lower frame rate. It depends. Personally, it really bugs the hell out of me having the lower frame rate. It really affects my gameplay. Because you're getting a lot of input latency as well. Now, I want to talk to you about anti-aliasing in the game. For the console versions, it can look really ugly. PC versions, good luck running it with anti-aliasing. Even with FXAA anyway. Gameplay-wise, let's actually have a look at the menus, character customizations, that type of thing. So, you've got gear, loadout, and boosts. So, we're going to take a look at skills first, because why not? Melee. You've got pretty much a variety of different things. Now, obviously, some stuff's locked, depending on which sequence you've got. And, of course, you've got Assassin's Creed points, which are the triangle-y kind of symbol, which I'm sure you're all intimately familiar with anyway. Ranged, various pistols, all that bollocks, of course, depending on what you've already unlocked. You've got stealth, same thing. You know, do you want to stab at someone? Do you want to become disguised? And so on and so forth and so forth. So, with allied players, some of this stuff may be really helpful if you are playing with others. Others, maybe not so helpful. You've got health upgrades, ability to heal nearby players as well. Thick skin, withstand a little more damage in combat. I'm going to go for that because it's quite annoying how quickly you get injured, to be totally honest. Melee, let's see what we got. Let's go for staggering strike, just, you know, for a bit of extra shiners. We've got some money as well. We can buy like, ranged and all that stuff, but we'll kind of go out. Gear loadout, weapons. One-handed, heavy, long, all the general stuff you'd expect. Obviously some stuff can be upgraded, others can't, you know, it's pretty all similar and pretty much what you'd expect, to be totally honest. It's not really rocket science, to be totally blunt. So you can just buy it, use it, and now you own a scimitar. Pretty simple stuff. Not anything particularly complicated in that respect. Pistols, same deal. Equipment, we can buy in various colours if you so desire. And some of them look pretty hideous. Like, that's pretty damn hideous. You'd be like the least stealthy assassin possibly in history of human race. We're gonna go with that because fuck it. Basically, we're gonna become blatantly obvious assassins. Apparently, yes. Let's become red coat assassins like that. That sounds perfect. All right, we're now a red coat assassin. It's $258 or whatever the hell it is. I think that's pretty perfect. And frankly, those legs need to not be there. I'm gonna go with something that's a little bit out of the beaten path. I think. No, that looks far too sensible. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay, I now am like the Predator. That's how stealthy I am. You buy various outfits as well. But all of that, yeah, pretty simple stuff. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's just. I think I can't remember if I checked this out. You can buy melee boosts and stuff like that, but obviously most of this, you know, actually significantly more difficult to detect, and obviously that costs you H points, which is a bit of a pain in the butt. But that's a different topic. So, yeah. So, okay, that was a bit weird. So, one is fairly impressed with the overall aesthetics. I just wish that they'd sorted the performance. This strikes me as a title that needed, to be frank, to be totally and utterly blunt with you, it needed another at least 2 months. Now, they are putting out patches. You probably know about some of them anyway, but I'll go through them. I honestly can't remember if I've mentioned them already, so I'll quickly go through them. Apparently they're putting out a patch which is going to fix some of the issues like falling through the world. I shit you not. You can fall through the world on this game. I personally haven't experienced it, but apparently it happens. It is a thing. And so because it is a thing, you know what, let's give this little fellow a hand, shall we? Hello. Done. There we go. I are ninja. Alright, sweet. See, it looks really cool architecturally, doesn't it? So anyway, as I was saying about the glitches. One of the... Oh, that's my phone. Just ignore that. I'm silly and forget to, you know, do anything. By the way, you can add me on PSN if you so desire. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can do. You can see my name at the top left. I'm an advanced recruit. Advanced, okay? So, as I was saying, in regards to the glitches, they are going to be putting out a patch, supposedly, which is going to affect... I've got the title patched already with the day 1 patch. Just for your FYI, it's about 800 and something megabytes on the PS4. Can't remember what it is on the Xbox One. So, they're going to be putting out a patch which is supposedly going to be fixing issues like that. Unfortunately, I mean, some shimmering going on there, which is a bit bloody fugly, but... Some of that is to do with anti-aliasing, if I'm totally honest. What was I saying? I cannot actually remember. Ah, yes. So the patch supposedly will fix those issues. Well, at least most of the groundbreaking or really bad bugs. But the frame rate ones and performance ones, which they've basically admitted to, who the hell knows? You can actually see some pop-up already there. Just shadows, again, are really bad for pop-up. Really bad. But textures are as well. We've actually seen instances where, for example, fire, and I'll be showing this in the graphics comparison. But let's say, for example, you've got fire here. Let's say, for example, this was a brazier. And then, let's say I'm here. Well, when I'm here, you can't see the fire, but when you take just a couple of steps, it will literally just pop into view. There's no level of detail switching or anything like that. It just literally is bad. And it's pretty noticeable because it's like... It's just something you would not expect in a AAA development. And I know it sounds really nitpicky to discuss this stuff, but it really, really hurts the immersion of the title, in my personal opinion. So we're going to be just kind of derping a little bit further. Foliage and stuff, of course, takes a massive hit. So, but that's pretty much what you'd expect. And these guys sometimes just do really, really weird things. AI on the game is not 100%. I'm sorry, I didn't really get that because your throat was being slit. It's kind of funny how that stuff happens, isn't it? Yeah, you know what, let's go after this chest. I don't know why, but we'll do it anyway. Also gives us a good excuse to free run. As I said, I'm just trying to show you as much of the title as possible in, like, you know, the little few minutes we've got. Okay, let's get down. Oh, really? Just get down to the bloody... There we go. Sorry, hand slipped. That was, you know, better. So, overall, the major problem I've got with the title, to be totally and utterly honest with you... Okay, we need a lockpick. To be totally and utterly honest with you, is just that it needs more time for optimization. And it's a real shame, because I get the feeling, despite the fact that I do have some reservations with some of the decisions, I wish they'd have brought back more of the piracy aspect. I really like the sailing of AC Black Flag, but I actually quite liked it overall. I quite like the title in many ways, but it's just the bugs completely and utterly take the piss. Alright, you know what? Guards are in blue versus the extremists. Avoid attacking them to reduce conflict. Avoid attacking them. Or we could just stab the shit out of them. That's... There we go. We can counter now. Frame... Oh, by the way, just to point this out, because you're probably going to wonder about the camera since it's a third-person game. Yeah, it can be really freaking frustrating in combat. Really bad. I tried a couple of tactics. The first tactic is I've just left it to do its thing, and I just tried to fight with it doing its thing. I died. I've tried the best thing I can do is try and running the camera with one hand and fighting with the other hand at the same time as randomly flighting the attack button. That sometimes does a bit better. It depends on the area. If you're in an area which is quite close range, I'm trying to get it to glitch a little bit here, I will confess. If you're in an area where it's quite close range, then you're going to definitely notice more problems. So let's say close quarter combat is definitely going to glitch a little bit more. On the other hand, if it's a bit further, you'll be okay.
I can't believe this. We've not seen Sam there for a year, and you're letting him walk. All because his name wasn't on a bloody piece of paper.
It's not doing the glitching thing with the flames. Just want to check that. That looked a bit weird, didn't it? The way he went into the water there. He's like, I am a snake. It's a bit weird the way he does that. It really is freaking me out a little bit. It's like, dude. I don't know what it is with that. It's just really, really bizarre. Anyway, as I was saying. So, some of the other problems is, for example, his clothing just doesn't look particularly wet, considering he's just been in the water. And Suri Wars, I might add. So, I know I've come across it and it's been quite negative. I've been very all over the shop, really. But it's just because I've got so many things to say about the game. And I can't really... I can't say the game's bad, because it's not. I'll be totally honest. The storyline is good. Right, this is just me being blunt. This is just me being brutally honest, truthful to you. Whether you're a fan, whether you're just thinking to yourself, this is the first AC that I've ever picked up, and I'm, not sure. This is whether you're like a fan of Ubisoft or hate Ubisoft's guts. Here's my honest opinions. Art and story and voice acting are solid. They are. But it's mired with technical issues. Mired. I mean, really bad at some points. Art assets are not as good as what they should be. Textures, you just, like, close range, they look good at a distance, but sometimes you expect them to look better when you get closer. Or they'll just sometimes even load completely different characters' faces. That happens a lot, particularly on the PC version, from what I understand. So you'll have a face which completely and utterly changes. Not a different level of detail, it's literally a different face. It's completely messed up. And it just shouldn't be that. This title should be solid. It has the ability to be solid. But it just did not have enough time in development. And that's the same across all platforms. We could say that the consoles don't have enough power. We can. We could easily say that, the GPU of the Xbox One, blah, 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 blah. You know what? The problem is... that doesn't fly when you've got PCs with GPUs that are 5-6 T-flops. You have GPU setups now that are 12 times, and I kid you not, 10, 12 times more powerful than the PlayStation 4. And it still runs like shit at 1080p. So, yes, it runs like shit on consoles. It runs worse on consoles, but it's running really bad on PCs. So this is like a case where optimization has just been terrible across the board. It's just, fortunately, if you've got a high-end rig and you're willing to lower the settings a bit to like console-ish settings, maybe slightly better than console, you've got enough performance to keep it at 60. But that's kind of up to you. With PC, however, with consoles, it's just, I mean, look, it looks really cool. That's the thing. I don't honestly know how to call this, and it's a case where the game itself is really interesting. Okay, that was completely and utterly not supposed to happen. But whatever. I pressed, I thought X was the C rankings. I completely didn't even read that, if I'm totally honest. And yeah, it's like, the game itself I'm quite enjoying. I even like the storyline. I'm not a massive Assassin's Creed fan, but there's little things like flickers where, like, sometimes the cutscene will flick from, like, the cutscene just to a second where your character is standing, then the cutscene will load in. Or you'll get situations where there's hole in the characters. Or there's situations where you can just quite clearly clip through walls. And, I mean, you saw what happened to me on the car earlier. That can happen consistently where you're trying to get away from guards, and so you can't actually drop down to an area and you're clipping, and it's really frustrating. Particularly for me, that's not really amazing at Assassins anyway, but it feels like it's in even additional level of stress. I'm just gonna have to say, my thoughts on the game, it's difficult. My opinion is that if you're a fan of the title, buy it, but give it a month. In other words, wait, see what Ubisoft say, then buy it if they fix the problem. If you're not a fan of Assassin's Creed and you're like, just think of it this way. You've got Grand Theft Auto. See, this is another problem. You've got GTA, Far Cry, assuming it's not fucked. But let's just assume it's not fucked beyond all repair. So, in other words, it's not, its name's not Assassin's Creed. You've got Far Cry. You've got Grand Theft Auto. Yes, we've completed a mission. Whoop-de-doo. Let's rate this memory. I'm going to give it a 1. Sweet. Anyway, that was a bit mean, but, you know, I'm just in that mood, to be honest. So, yeah, as I said, you've got Assassin's Creed. You've got Grand Theft Auto. You've just had Call of Duty. We've got Halo Master Chief Collection on the Xbox One. I can't even remember half the titles that are coming out, to be totally honest, because there are so sodding many of them. I've got so many on pre-order and so many that I'm waiting for, blah blah blah. It's just like, yeah. So basically my point is, if you've been hungering for this game, it might be worth soldiering through, maybe. If you don't care about solid frame rates and you don't care about the glitches and you think I can deal with it, do it. It's fine. You'll probably be okay. But I personally wouldn't suggest it, but you probably would be okay. On the PC, by the way, it crashes quite frequently. On the other hand, I've also heard stories that the console version crashed frequently as well. If, on the other hand, it's not a day one purchase for you, or you're not the biggest Assassin's Creed fan in the world, would I suggest you buy it? No. I would personally recommend you take your money, you play Far Cry or whatever other games that are available that you want to play, and then you say to yourself, I'll pick it up in December when there's a lull, or I'll pick it up in January when there's a lull, and you know there are lulls, and by which point there's probably going to be a patch which fixes most of these problems. Now, I'm not saying there will be, and yes, it might even go cheaper in that point. You know, the Steam sales and the various sales that pop up sometimes force these games to become a bit cheaper. So, yeah. I know I've been kind of all over the shop on this particular video, but I figure it's probably a good option because there's a lot to discuss. To be totally honest, I've missed quite some points. But I don't want to... I mean, this is like in a first impressions, my opinion. It's not really a first impressions, but it's kind of like my opinion from the technical side from so far, from a gameplay standpoint so far. If you've basically, I'm going to summarize it by saying, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, you're probably going to accept the gameplay and like the gameplay. But unless you're a massive Assassin's Creed fan, you're not going to want the technical issues, and I would recommend you wait. I would also say this: I have learned a new synonym today. I have learned things. I've learned to educate myself further. It is a synonym, and it is for the word disappointment. And it is, in no word of a lie, the new word for disappointment, my friends, is unity. Yes. And that's a massive shame, because as I said, it can look rather beautiful, and in motion, in screenshots it looks incredible. In motion, if you're playing it, and even in videos, like I've been watching myself play it, as in like I've been looking at videos of myself, and it can look okay, and then you play it. What in the fuck? That was amazing. It just looked really weird the way he did it. He's like flying in a circle. Let's try and repeat that, shall we? Okay. He's getting excited. He's getting excited. Yay! It's the beach, Mar. Mummy, mummy, mummy! It's the beach. No, little Jimmy. That's the river. Well, if it's the River Thames, it looks a bit like the River Thames. I don't know Paris that well. I don't honestly know what the river is. I'm probably going to get blasted for that in the comments, but I don't know. But let's just say you don't want to be going swimming in the River Thames. But anyway, which obviously Thames is not in, you know, France, but you get the idea. Anyway, I've. That's not yours. Oh, god damn it! I'm going to be heroic. I'm going to tackle this thief. I'm going to tackle the thief because, you know, I feel like stabbing him, quite frankly. Come on. Come on, let me stab. Let me. Hello. Alright, let's this hidden blade him. Come on. No, I can't hidden blade him. Apparently, no, I can't stab him. Even though I'm just twirling the blade at him menacingly. Menacingly. Menacing. No. Fear my twirling. It's like a baton. You fear it. All of you. Come on. Look, I'm twirling my blade at you, good sir. Yes. Yes, you should be alarmed. I'm twirling. Have you ever seen a man twirling before? Okay, these guys apparently are not so... Okay, that just demonstrates kind of what I'm saying. It's like, they don't care about the random twirling, which... I mean, I don't know about you, but I would be quite concerned if some random dude in this outfit just started to randomly twirl the weapon at me. But, if I pull out the... Okay, I've just knocked her over. But, if I put the weapon away... and then I pull it, then you'll become all scared. It's a bit weird. Hello. And hello to you as well, good sir. Oh, that... For some reason, they seem a bit panicked. Perhaps it's the fact that there's blood everywhere. I don't know why. Anyway, as I said, I think that's a good place to call the video, guys. As I said, I've just been messing around a little bit, but it gives you some idea of the gameplay. It gives you some idea of my opinions on the title. Obviously, your mileage may vary. It's just such a shame. I honestly feel that the crowd density just needs to be dropped a bit. If the crowd density had been dropped, I mean, let's just do that again. I mean, did you see that on the left-hand side? Look at that. Look at the paper just hanging in midair. And now it's moving again. I mean, let's run down. I mean, look, what the fuck's going on with her teleporting there? Did you see that? What in the fuck? Look, you see her dress just randomly changing. What in the fuck? No. Oh. Alright. This is just... This little area, I'm going to show you where it is on the map, actually, where you click. I had 4. Anyway, it's right here. So if you want this fun, it's right here on the map. So yeah, let's just do that again, one more time. Yes, we could definitely see some pop up there, and this is kind of what I'm saying. I mean, look, that guy just literally appears and then disappears. It's just completely messed up. And this is not video editing. I'm not photoshopping this shit. Look, you see like plant pots just randomly appearing and disappearing. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this actually happens a lot. Like when you're trying to run through crowds and stuff. This is kind of my point. And yeah, pretty much. Anyway. Yeah, I think that's... I'm going to do this little marathon. I mean, do you see her dress change there? I don't know what it is with the models. I think when you get closer, it loads them in for extra diversity. So sometimes, for example, you can have like a blue dress. And then it will switch to like a yellow dress, and then it will just switch back. It's just really, really messed up. And as I said, I just don't think that there should be so many people around. What is the purpose of having so many other than just to be boastful? It's just e-peening from the perspective of the developers. But it also just kind of messes you up because there's no need to have this amount of people wandering around. I'd prefer to reduce the percentage by 25% and have better performance, or reduce it 25% and have more stable frame rates, or better graphics, or whatever the hell. But anyway, I've completely and utterly gone off the beaten path now. And I think I've probably overstretched this video by quite a bit. It's almost 40 minutes, so I think that's probably about it. Anyway, as I said, there will be a full frame rate comparison for the consoles where we'll go into, of course, the performance of it. We'll also be doing other shiners, like, you know what, let's just smoke bomb them because, you know, these guys look quite happy. We'll smoke bomb them as I give my opinion. I'll be also giving, of course, full graphics comparison and all that stuff. So, hopefully you'll join me for that, and... myself and Arturo will be doing some twirling. And I'll twirl you in the next video. Take care and bye for now.